know him personally. He's a legend, but, this is a brotherhood. We're all family, and I'll get a chance to chop it up with him here shortly.
So what's it like being back?
Oh, man, it's great. It's almost unreal, to come in and work every day and walk into this facility, that I was once in. I'm super grateful, really thankful to be able to come back here, come back home, right? And I understand that at this level, a lot of coaches don't get the opportunity to come back home, right, or go back to their alma mater. So I'm really thankful to Coach Moore and Coach Charlton for getting me back home just to be a part of this journey because, it's something really special.
How does that help you being a former player, coaching the program you played in? How does that help?
I think it just helps, my word resonate with these players, right, in terms of having them understand that I've once sat in that meeting room, right? I've, shed my blood, sweat, and tears on this practice field, at the rent, in the weight room. And, I think that's what's most important for me as a coach is, that relationship. And, I'm able to continue to build and cultivate that, as we come along here and work towards the season.
What were some of the adjustments maybe made in kind of the wide receiver area from last year, where obviously it's beat up a little bit, but
right,
that was kind of what people kind of pointed at in the offense.
I mean, in terms of adjustments, I wasn't here last year, right? So, but health-wise, just like you said, we got guys back healthy. We have a few new pieces, right, through the transfer portal, and you guys got a chance to see some of them throughout camp, and those guys will be some valuable assets to the pass game.
Who's impressed you, especially coming from spring into the fall?
Coming from spring into the fall, I would say Kashif Hicks has done a really good job. He's a young guy that's continuing to develop. And the last few days, he's made a lot of big plays for us. And we need him to continue to, stay on the rise.
A couple grad transfers, Jordan Porter, Brett Buckman, those guys, what do they bring? Obviously it's their first year here. Right. They have experience playing college football elsewhere. First year here, and I think just like you said, what they bring to the table, the value that they bring to the table is that they're veterans, right? They've been in multiple offenses, so they were able to come here and really do a good job picking up our offensive playbook and, step right in and make an impact. And that's what we're looking for those guys, and, they're going to bring a lot of value.
What's the competition been like in the group, between the guys? What's up?
It's been really competitive, right? No starters are set at the moment, so guys are fighting. They're still competing. They're getting extra work in, but at the same time, it's a brotherhood. We've got a great culture within our room, and guys help each other out. No animosity, no big ego, none of that stuff.
It's been like working with Cam Ross the last couple of years. He's been out with injuries, which I'm sure you're aware of. But, how has he been able to speak with the guys, lead from his example? Absolutely.
Cam is a great leader for us in the room, and I told him day one, when I got hired here, that I'm going to look to him for some leadership for the room, and he's been doing a really good job stepping up in that area. And I mean, he has a lot of experience, right, and he has a lot of adversity that others can learn from, and those guys are really, listening to him and learning through his experiences as well.
Coach, they're taking it a little slow.
Who caught the ball here in the corner when they had the celebration?
Yep, that was Kashif Hicks. Yeah.
Who threw it? Was that to Zion?
It may have been Zion. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Can you tell us about the physical qualities of this room? I know that everyone brings something special to the table, but if you could sum up this group, whether it's speed, maybe it's size, but what is one physical aspect of this wide receiver room we should be looking at?
Yeah, I would say the ability to make the big play, right? If you look at our room, it's truly a different shape and size as you look around it, right? And, we have bigger body guys like KC. We have your smaller guys with a lot of speed like Cam and James Burns. We have some guys that are more athletic, and maybe have some size and speed, right? So, we're going to be looking to our guys to make an impact, not only in the pass game, but in the run game as well.
You really had to mold that room late, right? Because a lot of these guys just got here.
Right.
How big of a challenge is that for the position coach?
I think it's really challenging. But, you try to set the foundation of building the relationship first, right? And that's what type of coach I am. I look at myself as a player coach, and as long as you can set that relationship with those guys and let them know that you have their best interests, not only on the field but off the field as well. Those guys will run through a brick wall for you, and we're going to continue to build here.
When did you see yourself being, capable of being a coach? When did you start wanting to go into coaching?
I'm going to be honest. Throughout my playing career, I never really thought about it. I know when the Kansas City Chiefs let me go back in 2016. I was talking with their GM and some of their guys in the front office, and they asked me, they're like, "Hey, man, we see you being a coach one day," and that may have planted a seed, in me just hearing that. But I didn't get into coaching until 2019, right? So 3 years after that. But now I feel like I'm walking in my purpose, right? My passion to be a servant leader, and to use my experiences to help these young men both on and off the field.
After playing at the highest level, what's it like teaching 18, 19-year-olds who are just trying to really learn the game?
Yeah, I think my experience starting out coaching at the high school level really helped me, because you have to know, what motivates these young men, right? You have to know, what makes them laugh, what kind of ticks them off. And but with that experience, I'm able to, pair my knowledge and my experience playing at the highest level. And, again, it's all about relationships for me.
What was your first coaching job? Where was that?
My first coaching job was with my former wide receiver coach from when I was here, Coach Matt Sasamo at Conner High School in West Hartford.
Okay. And did you know when you first started that, this is for me, or was it some uncertainty?
I knew right away. And it, just getting back to the game now as a coach, it made me fall in love, right, with the game that I once played and I once loved now as a coach, right? A little less toll on my body, right? But just the fulfillment of, teaching a young man something and seeing it into fruition was something that was really gratifying for me.
Coach, one of the newer guys that you've been able to coach right now is Brett Buckman. How has he really made an impact for you thus far?
Brett Buckman has been great. He's another veteran guy from University of Delaware. He's been in multiple systems. He's very cerebral, right? So he was able to pick up the offense, right away, and he can play multiple positions. I think he has the body type to also play multiple positions as well, whether that be helping us out in the run game or running option routes, or we can even put him outside to run deep.